add your smart contract or WebAssembly file. I try to use ERC20.contract file. As you can see, it will detect your method, for example, total supply, balance of, and so on. And ERC20 is a part of a standard, and we will know about it. It's a good idea to use improvement proposals. It will give you a pattern about any kind of standard. For example, ERC20 have some function, and in more detail, you can see types of arguments and also all of needed functions. After you would have studied the document, you will find the interconnect interconnection between some methods. Click on next. We must specify total supply, and we also can set limit for proof size and ref time, or and before you deploy the contract, you can use a dry run in command line, and it will show you some outcome, and it will show you how will be doing your smart contract. And obviously, when we spoke about dry run, it's like a test bed or sandbox, so it will not influence in your production environment. Good. After deployed your total supply, you can transfer some balance between users, but before it, for example, you can check balance of Alice, and because Alice is an owner, and obviously Alice will be token owner and token supplier. After that, we can send a message. We can select a different method. Aloneness is one of our important in the transfer. Let me rotate to the code. In this line, we call a transfer from, and in the transfer from, we will use approve method. It right here, and in function of transfer from to, at the first, the code will check balances, and then after our process would have finished, it will check emit event, and in the section of approve, there is a enter function as a aloneness. So we must determine the chain of function between aloneness, approve, and transfer from to, and after that we can have a final method here. We use Ink framework to deploy our smart contract, and it will help us to have better performance and to deploy our smart contract easily by using this attribute. And in Cargo, you can use all kind of std library features here, and after you deploy your smart contract, generated your smart contract here by WebAssembly, you can transfer it and upload it in user interface smart contract. We also have situation reinstantiate. We also have a situation to reinstantiate if you want to restart smart contracts, all of save information. There is some efficient command line, and you can use it to deploy your smart contract. I pointed out about events. ERC20 token standard specifies that contract calls cannot directly return a value when submitting a transaction. However, you might want your smart contract to signal in some way that an event has occurred. For example, you might want your smart contract to indicate when a transaction was made or that the transfer was approved. You can use events to send these kinds of signals. For faster access to the event data, they can have index fields. You can do this by using attribute of ink topics attribute. To describe in more detail, I can tell you about approve and aloneness. Instead of transferring your tokens directly to another user in a contract, you can approve some number of the tokens you own to be traded on your behalf. While you wait for a trade to execute, you can still control and spend your tokens. If needed, you can also approve multiple contracts or users to access your tokens. So if one contract offers the best trade, you don't need to move tokens from one contract to another, which can be costly and a time-consuming process. To ensure approvals and transfers can be done safely, the ERC20 token contract uses a two-step process with separate approve and transfer from operations. You don't have approve all tokens in your account, and you can specify a maximum number that an approved account is allowed to transfer. When you call approve multiple times, you overwrite the previously approved value with the new value. Since each account can have a different amount approved for any other accounts to use, balances that can be transferred by non-owners. In conclusion, I'm open to doing more struggle using different frameworks and blockchain network, but it definitely remains risks like time and energy, while I have done some sample work so far without earnings. So it would be better for companies being open by providing infrastructure and preparing a stable work environment to utilize the qualification of experts. In my opinion, none of us cannot work on different libraries or networks in advance. Obviously, companies must invest in their talents to grow products and fulfilling requirements in long term. We all depends on employers. My knowledge is claimed to have been affected by documentation of the other experts, clearly. I confess to not understanding your particular requirements perfectly, but I'm sure I can make a bridge quickly to do my best. I love my major and Rust programming. I love what I can do, how versatile it is. However, I gonna check out new areas based on your requirements. I hope you will do fruitful work as well. I hope you will do fruitful work as well. please don't hesitate to contact me. You could also be as a sponsor on each one of my repositories or new repository on GitHub. Nice to meet you. I hope you have a good day.